What's up, guys? I've been meaning to make this video for quite a while. This video was requested by a fellow viewer known as Classic Nian. He wanted a R.O.B guide, so I took the time to pretty much learn the character, figure out all the tips and tricks, and hopefully I can show you guys all the stuff that I learned and help you guys. Just like with previous videos, I'm going to put a timestamp for the combos for those who don't want to sit through the guide and kind of already know R.O.B. Maybe just want to look at the combos, so hopefully that's popping up right around here. But anyway, for those who want to watch the guide, let's get into the video. Okay, so with all my videos, I like to start with tilts, jab, and dash attack first, because I feel like those are the most simple basic things you should know with all your characters. R.O.B.'s jab doesn't do too much damage, and it doesn't look too amazing either. It's just a basic 2-strike combination, but for what it is good for is, since it comes out at frame 3, making it a very fast option, it's a very good get off me tool with most characters. It won't send them too far back, and it doesn't kill to around like well after 200%, but it's still a very, very fast tool, which is always nice to have with any character. R.O.B.'s forward tilt is also a kind of move. It doesn't look too crazy. It comes out at frame 7. What I do like about it is very deceptive when it comes to its range. It does have decent knockback, but what most people don't know is that if you can get your opponent to around 30%, or maybe they do know this and I'm just, clueless to it, this move actually can set your opponent into a tech chase scenario, which is very good because then you can follow up with something else like a jab or a down tilt and potentially jab block them, which is nice for any move or any character. R.O.B.'s up tilt comes out at frame 4, which is also a very, very fast move. You can see R.O.B. using this in combos and juggling. It can hit from the sides if the character is a little bit taller, but characters like Jigglypuff and like Duck Hunt and all those other shorter characters, Pichu, it won't really be able to. But that's also a very good combo move. And last but not least, you have R.O.B.'s kind of what I would consider his best tilt, which is his down tilt. It comes out at frame 3, making it his, one of his fastest moves along with his jab. It does have a tripping feature where if you do it enough to somebody, they will trip, as you just saw there, which is really nice. It sometimes can combo into itself if you do it fast enough. And a lot of people, when they like to do it, they'll do down tilt and like run with it basically. And it can put your opponent into a tumble scenario as well. And finally, we have his dash attack. Nothing special about it, it's just kind of a quick little lunge forward. This can be comboed with forward throw, but the timing is so specific that it's a little bit difficult. However, it's still a decent move, and it comes out rather quickly. Next, we're going to cover all of R.O.B.'s throws, starting with his forward throw. His forward throw is just a simple kind of toss. It only does around 9%. However, as I said before, it does combo into his dash attack. It's just a little bit difficult to get perfect, basically. Only 18%, but it's still nice to have for a combo. An easy quick 18 is nothing to scoff at. Next, you have his back throw. It does a little more damage than forward throw. Very, very similar animation where he just tosses the opponent. It starts to kill at around 150, I believe, but at that point you could just go for other throws that are much more reliable for killing, such as his down throw. His down throw can bury the opponent. As always, the lower the percent of the opponent, the easier they can get out of it. And if your opponent is really good at mashing, it's really hard to keep your opponent in the ground like before they reach 100 basically. But there's so much stuff you can do if you end up grounding your opponent that it's very easy to get kills at later percents with it. And last, you have your up throw. Up throw is just basically a pile driver. It does the most damage out of all of them if you don't include the potential combos you can get from down throw. But what I do like about up throw is that while it does start killing at around 160 or 170, if you need an easy throw kill, you can actually combo with it too. I see a lot of R.O.B.s when they do this to typically go for forward air. I don't like going for forward air because when you do it, it leaves your opponent so close to you that if they have a really quick, frame option in the air like an up B with Game & Watch or something, they can probably punish you pretty easily for it. So what I like to do is I'll sometimes do a forward tilt afterwards. Same results, more damage, better knockback, I have better stage presence. But that's just a little tip for you guys. Moving on to R.O.B.'s smash attacks. See, all of his smash attacks are pretty decent. They're all good for different things, as most characters are, but I feel like R.O.B.'s covers every single thing he needs. So let's start with R.O.B.'s forward smash. Forward smash is just basically a laser beam that comes out of his eyes. It's good for kind of reaching your opponent. You can angle it upwards or downwards, depending on the scenario you need. Maybe you need to catch someone who's trying to recover. Maybe you need to anti-air someone. This move happens to be the slowest out of all of R.O.B.'s smash attacks, coming out at frame 16, but it also has the most knockback out of all of R.O.B.'s moves and can kill pretty early. I believe on the ledge or near the ledge, this move kills at 65% fully charged and around 90 to 100, or maybe it's 80, let me check, when it's not charged. move it to, let's go with 80 just to see. So uncharged, the move does 18% and almost kills from where we are on the map right now. It's pretty good. And fully charged is around 25% and definitely kills. Really scary. On the ledge, this move shouldn't have a problem killing. Yeah. So a really solid option, especially when you consider the fact that you can angle it downward and catch someone who's recovering. Probably kill them at 80, or even earlier than that, depending on the character you're going up against. Next, we're going to cover Rob's up smash. Rob's up smash is deceptive in the way that Rob does it, because it looks like it only covers above his head, when in reality, if you watch Rob when he does the move, he plants his two arms on the ground to basically set himself up for the move. Those two arms that you see are actually two more additional hitboxes, and if your opponent is next to them, they get lifted up into the up smash and take considerable amounts of damage. So I'll show you what that looks like. He doesn't have to be, or the character doesn't have to be above Rob to basically get punished. Even if they're trying to possibly roll away from Rob, Rob can catch them in the up smash on the other side and punish them accordingly, which is really solid. Now, that move does come out at frame 10, making it a much faster option than up smash, but it does take a little bit longer to kill. I believe it starts to kill around 100% instead of 80, but it's still a decent move. So 20% normally kills at around 100, and 28% if you fully charge it, and has no problem killing at that point. And last, but certainly not least, is Rob's down smash. I wouldn't consider it his worst smash attack, but it has the least amount of knockback and the least amount of damage. What I think makes it good is it happens to be Rob's fastest smash attack, coming out at frame 7. That's what it looks like. Just kind of does a like a tornado spin, basically. What it's good for is it's good for covering rolls. It's good for just basically being a quick out of shield option if you really want to do that. I don't advise going for that out of shield, but you could always go for it if you really wanted to. It does not abysmal damage, like it's just not bad, but it's not as good as you think it would be. It does around 13 uncharged, 14 actually, closer to 14, and around 19 fully charged, if you can happen to hit that on somebody. Maybe they roll into it, you get an easy 19. As I said before, what makes it good is how fast it comes out, but it takes a while for it to kill. I think on edge, it probably kills around 100, but even then at that point, it's, it's questionable depending on how the opponent DIs and their weight. From kind of where we are on the map, it definitely won't kill. But fully charged, it shouldn't have a problem. Rob's aerials are very good, and that's strange when you consider some of their frame data. But Rob has some of what I consider the best aerials in the game. We're going to cover a lot of them right now. Let me just set this percent back to 0 so I can show you guys. So the strange thing about Rob's aerials is some of them are kind of slow. They come out beyond frame 15 occasionally, which you would consider bad, but Rob makes them work so well, which is so cool, and they're actually pretty fun to use too because they look kind of cool. So we're going to cover Rob's neutral air first. Rob's neutral air is one of his main tools you'll be using quite often. He pretty much does a front flip with his burners going. It's very slow on startup, comes out at frame 14. However, it's a very good combo tool, and it's very safe to land on people too. Very good for approaching. I believe it does around 9 to 7% if you hit the sour spot, but around 11 if you hit it with full power. A little bit difficult to hit, but no problem really. Next, we're going to cover Rob's forward air, which is probably his fastest, or I know it is his fastest aerial. It comes out at frame 6. He basically just takes a quick swipe at the opponent. Very good for carrying your opponent off stage. Very solid, fast move in the air. Doesn't do too much damage, but for what it is and what it does, it's very useful. Around 7% for that one. Next, we're going to cover Rob's back air. This comes out at frame 19. Frame data wise, that is not good. As you can see, there's a big delay when he does the move, but when he does it, it's one of his better aerials, considering that he can do a few things with it. I'll cover one of those things the next portion of the video, but this move kills so early for a back air. I believe it kills as early as 90 or 80 if they're near the ledge. Yeah, that would usually kill, but it's just, oh, it did kill. Okay, cool. But what makes it so good is the fact that it can actually space itself for you. Usually when you play the Smash, you want to carefully space your moves as to not get punished. You see Marths do that quite often. But with back air, when you see Rob do this move, if this Marth were to shield it, back air actually carries Rob away. If you see here, I'm standing right on the third pink diamond on this part of the map. Doing a back air leaves me all the way over here. So it basically spaces itself out for you, which is really cool. And it's a very good option despite being kind of slow. Next, we're going to cover his up air, another one of his faster aerials. What makes this so good, not only is it a kill option at around 100 to 120%, and you can combo into it occasionally, plus you can use your down throw to combo into it and catch your opponent when they leave the hole basically, but it's a multi-hit move. So if your opponent attempts to air dodge it, you can still catch them half the time, which is really solid. And last but not least, his down air. This one comes out at frame 20 and still has a stall just like his back air, but this one does considerable amounts of damage. Usually it's around 14%, I believe, if you can hit the burners. It also spaces itself kind of nicely for you too. You can be a little bit of a distance away from your opponent and still manage to hit them, which is nice, but it is also a spike. So you can do a couple setups with things like gyro to get a quick easy kill with that move. I'll show you right here just what it would look like if you hit a spike on somebody. As you saw there, it had no problem just absolutely deleting Marth from the map. So I believe pretty much all of his aerials are pretty solid options, which is nice to have in a character. It's nice to know that not only are you solid on the air and that you have projectiles, but you also can fight in the ground as well. So you basically cover everything. Air, ground, projectiles, you have it all. Finally, we're going to talk about R.O.B's special attacks. I believe that special attacks for all characters basically define them as who they are, give them their identity, and R.O.B's no exception. R.O.B has some very decent special attacks. A lot of people spam them because of the character R.O.B is. You'll see that they spam side B quite often, especially newer players, but that's because the move is just that good. So anyway, let's cover a lot of them in this part of the video. So we're going to cover R.O.B's neutral B. It comes out at frame 25, which is kind of slow. Here's what it looks like. It's just a little laser. It's very good for zoning out your opponent. If you watch carefully, there's a little bitty red light kind of flashing on R.O.B's head. When it's flashing like that, that's how you know you have the neutral B. If you notice, if you do it once, the light turns off, kind of goes like a dim red. That's because R.O.B can no longer do a neutral B afterwards. Now, the lights from his eyes will still hurt the opponent, but you're just not going to get the laser. And if you decide to wait a little bit longer, instead of just kind of spamming the move, maybe you decide to save it up or something, you'll notice the light starts to flash repeatedly, very fast and very, very bright, as it is right now. That is because R.O.B can now use his fully charged Robo Beam, which is a massive laser. The closer you are to R.O.B when he does it, the more damage it will do. However, I don't think it's a good idea that you approach with that move because you'll most likely get punished quite easily. It's very good for your catching your opponent off the edge, leading to an early kill, and you can also manage to bounce it off kind of walls and floors. As you'll see here, you can angle it. I'm going to bounce it off the floor. Very, very decent tool that R.O.B has. Next, we're going to cover R.O.B's up B. R.O.B's up B is probably one of the best in the game when it comes to actually recovering and recovering options. I'll show you what it looks like just normally, not without any extra tips or anything. So this is R.O.B's up B. He kind of just slowly floats. If you look at R.O.B's side, it's currently red, it's turning yellow, and then it turns green. That's actually his fuel. So as you'll see here, and I'll do it one more time just so you guys can see. I'll try to waste his fuel for you. So it goes to yellow, goes to red, and it slowly recharges. Now, if R.O.B loses all his fuel, he can still have the ability to jump around, which is nice, but he can no longer do his up B. However, if you would like to conserve fuel, you can simply press up B and tap B with R.O.B, and R.O.B will then carry himself way higher, which is very good. Now, he still will eventually lose all his fuel, but you can go so much further with it. Another thing that I talked about previously when it comes to aerials is his back air. That's because if you're playing R.O.B, without ever jumping, you can back air towards the stage and conserve your jump, and you basically cross the entire map and can make it back. So R.O.B has one of what I consider the best recoveries in the game. Next move we're going to talk about is R.O.B's side B, his gyro spin basically, or maybe it's not a gyro spin, the arm rotor, I'm sorry. I always call it the gyro spin for some reason. The arm rotor. So here's what it looks like. Just 12, but if you tap with it, the move extends its time and damage. So I'm going to tap B repeatedly as I do my side B. Instead of doing, what was it, 12 or 6 hits, it does 21 damage and 11 on the combo meter. Now, what makes this move so good is that if you catch your opponent on the side of the map trying to recover, you can basically kill them with this move because you can snuff out their jump, you can catch them in midair, and this has considerably good knockback for the move that it is. Another thing that I like to do with this move is that I will occasionally knock my opponent off the map, and then I will stall on the ledge, kind of like that, or not like that. I will pretty much do that, and when my opponent tries to recover, they have to deal with my arm rotor, which is a very solid, kind of like edge guard tool, but you have a lot more things you can do to edge guard than that. That's just another little tip for you guys. Next, we're going to discuss R.O.B's gyro. This thing is his bread and butter. You see all the best R.O.Bs, they know how to manipulate the gyro, they know how to use it to its full advantage, and how to essentially get crazy combos off of it. So, it's your down B. You can press down B and he'll fully charge it, and after a while he'll put it away. When R.O.B is flashing white like he is right now, that's how you know it is fully charged. It does less damage when it's fully charged. I don't know why, I think that's really dumb, but essentially if you can stop the move before it's fully charged, it will do more damage. It does around 12% fully charged, and because it is essentially an item, you can also Z-drop it onto an opponent, which is just the act of basically pressing Z and dropping on your opponent. Now, it's important to know when you're using the gyro, whatever direction R.O.B is facing when he releases or throws the gyro is the direction the opponent will go. So for instance, I will be currently facing to the right with R.O.B. If I Z-drop the gyro, Marth will move towards me. If I drop it the other direction while facing left, Marth will go left. Now the reason why that's important is because if you're going to do this, you can actually set up for potential combos. So I'm going to drop it again and go for just a side B or something stupid, basically. Oh, missed entirely. Let's try that one more time with something else. Let's go for up smash. Yeah, it's just super simple. All you have to do is just remember the direction that R.O.B dropped it and to punish accordingly. It's also a very good tool when it comes to edge guarding. A lot of R.O.Bs like to actually just leave the gyro on the ground. And if your opponent tries to come up, they basically can't. They'll either have to roll away from the gyro or try to jump, but since R.O.B is usually always above the opponent when he drops the gyro, he can come down with an aerial and punish accordingly. So it's just a very, very solid item that R.O.B can use in his arsenal. We have finally arrived at the combo portion of the video, my favorite part of the video. First, we're going to cover what I think is R.O.B's best go-to combo. It could potentially be a 0 to death depending on where your opponent is on the map when you start the combo, and this thing just racks up the damage. I will say this, compared to my previous tutorials and combo videos, this is probably going to be on the harder side of the spectrum when it comes to combos. So it may take some time, but believe me, it is well worth it when you do it. So I'm going to show you guys what it is and then explain it and then do it one more time. Alright, so what you just saw there it's kind of intense, it's a lot to take in, but essentially all it is two neutral airs, a Z-drop, a throw, and a down or a side B, not in that order. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by charging our gyro. You don't need to charge it all the way, you can literally just shoot it out immediately. What you're going to do is you're going to go for your neutral air. Now the problem is, you will find out very quickly, if you've never used R.O.B with Z-drops before, you cannot actually do a neutral air if you have the gyro in your hand. So, you will have to master Z-dropping. My advice is just to practice it. All you have to do is jump, press Z, and then when you want to do your neutral air, you just jump, Z-drop, and then press A for your neutral air. So it's going to look like this. So you see R.O.B kind of slowly drops it. And that's what you want. You might miss a couple times. That's alright. But just get used to that feeling. Alright, so now that you know how to do that, you're going to go up to your opponent. You're basically going to run up or jump up, whatever you're going to do. Z-drop and neutral air onto them. As soon as you do that, you're going to hit them with your neutral air. Now you already have the gyro in hand after hitting the neutral air. You're going to then follow up by jumping into them and releasing your gyro with your Z-drop. It will fall into them, which then you will then grab with neutral air again. So it's going to kind of look like this with the Z-drop. So after you hit the first neutral, it's going to be Z-drop, and it'll kind of knock them back a little bit. Now they'll already be in the air when you hit the first neutral air, so the Z drop will be a little bit difficult to hit. It's probably one of the most difficult parts of the combo, but it's really rewarding once you get it. So once you hit the first Z drop on your opponent, you then follow up with an additional neutral air, as long as you have the gyro in your hand. And then you're going to throw the gyro and follow up with a B over. It's a lot to take in, but I'm going to show you guys one more time. I wish I could show you it in slow-mo, but it's a little bit difficult to do even in slow-mo. Funny thing, it just occurred to me that I can use the power of editing to show you guys in slow-mo. I don't have to use this, because whenever I do the training slow-mo, it's just so much harder. But hopefully you guys could see what I meant when I was doing the combo in that slow-mo there. I'm gonna do it one more time just so you guys can see it in normal speed, and I'll move on to the next combo. Alright. And just like that. As I said before, it will take time to master, so don't get frustrated, guys. You guys can do it. Okay, hopefully moving away from a combo that's not so difficult, so you can do something more simple. This combo is way easier, still works at 0, good damage, and it is true. So here's the combo. It's just a simple down throw to up tilt to up air. So it's going to look like, get your grab, down throw, up air, up throw, or up air, sorry. And you can follow up with a laser too, if you really want to. It's not going to be true if you go for the laser, but it would be kind of stylish if you got it. So again, it's just a simple grab, down throw, up air, or up tilt, my bad, we'll start that over. Grab, down throw, up tilt, up air, and you can angle it upwards if you want it for the laser. The laser is kind of difficult to hit though, so don't expect to always get it. But that's the second combo. This next combo is going to work very well in the later game states when your opponent kind of has a lot of damage on them. Usually I look for my opponent to be around 115 because that's when the tumble animation kind of starts, or the tech chase scenario really. So all you're going to do is go for a down tilt, very quick move. You're going to go for a jab lock after they miss their tech, and then you're going to follow up with whatever you want. It could be an up smash, it could be a forward smash. I like down smash, it's quicker. You could do another jab, just kind of like hit them. It won't really kill them, but it's extra damage, I suppose. You can go for a side B. You can do whatever you want. Basically, whatever your heart desires, which is why I like this combo so much. So here we go. That was double jab. I did not mean to do that. One more time. There you go. Now, it says it's not true, and I don't know why, because my opponent can't do anything about missing the tech. I mean, they can always, tech it, but you can always follow up with something else, like a grab or a down throw. So one more time, we're going to go for the same thing, down tilt, jab lock, and down smash. Oh, missed it. I don't know why. One more time. There we go. Simple as that. For this next combo, I like my opponent to be around 100%. If they're above 100, that's fine, but usually if they're at 100, that's going to guarantee the kill for this combo. If they're anything lower, there's a chance that it just might not kill, which is fine. At least you guarantee the damage, but I want to get a kill off this, which is why you do it, because it's only going to work a certain number of times when your opponent starts realizing what you're attempting to do. So all you're going to do is Z-drop to any one of your kill moves, whether it's up smash, forward smash, side B, you name it. You could even go for up air at later percents, but it's a little bit difficult to do because sometimes you might miss the initial hit and only get like 1 or 2. But if you can think it, you can do it. So I'm going to show you 3 different examples, and you guys can just pick and choose which one you want to do. So first one I'm going to do is Z-drop to up smash. No problem with the weight there, definitely going to kill. We got our Z-drop to forward smash, my favorite. Oh, I don't know why he did that. Let me try that one more time. What is he doing? I feel like he's landing awkwardly or something and not able to do anything. There we go. That's my favorite. That's the one I feel like guarantees it the most because it has the most knockback and damage. So at least if it's not going to kill, at least it's going to put around 25% on my opponent. Or you can go for something like side B, which will absolutely kill as well. And everybody loves being hit with side B anyway, so. But anyway, that's that combo. This next combo is going to work kind of in tandem with the last one, meaning that I'm going to use the gyro to pull off this combo. I did set my opponent to 40%, and you can set them lower depending on how your opponent likes to recover. You can even put them higher, but I found that 40% is really all you need to get this done correctly. So all you're going to go for is your Z drop to down air, but you're going to do it on the ledge. So the Z drop is going to end up knocking your opponent kind of towards you, and then you're going to down air into a spike, and it's just a 2-hit combo that can be an early kill. So here's what it looks like. Hopefully I can do it. Sometimes it doesn't connect for whatever reason. I think if the burners end up hitting the opponent, it's not actually a spike. Like it just knocks them upwards, but I could be wrong. But I'll show you guys one more time just in case you guys didn't see that. Just like that. Easy 2-hit combo, or practically like an early kill. Amazing. Cool. On to the next one. We have made it to the final combo portion of the video, and the reason why I said portion and not combo is because this is actually going to lead into a whole lot of particular combos, and I didn't want to just make 10 separate little clips to add into the video because it would just take forever, so I figured I could cover it all within just one quick little session. So in this portion of the video, we're going to talk about R.O.B's Nair, which is one of his best comboing tools, one of his safest options. There's a few characters that are always called Nair the character. Some that come to mind are Ike. I don't know if you'd really call R.O.B Nair the character, but he definitely gets a lot of work out of his Nair. So we're going to cover some of the combos. I don't know if I can cover them all because I don't know if I can really find them all, but I'm going to cover a lot right here. So hopefully you guys can learn something from this. So we can do Nair to Nair. And Nair to Nair can actually be followed up with up tilt as well. You can attempt to go for an up air after the up tilt, but it won't be true. However, since R.O.B is so fast with his up air and his up tilt, you usually can catch your opponent sleeping. You can do your Nair to, let me think, Nair to side B, that's a good one. Easy 30%. I love when something super simple and basic gets you so much reward. It lets you know that basically knowing your fundamentals and that kind of stuff, that's rewarding, which is cool. So easy 30% off that. You could do Nair to forward smash, I believe. Just a little bit more difficult because you have to get the landing hit. So easy 27 right there. You could also do Nair to up smash. This one's a little bit harder though. I don't know why I have such trouble doing it, but it's just one of the ones that is not my friend. But Nair to up smash is true. I just don't know why. I don't ever get it. I'm gonna edit it in so it looks perfect. There we go. I won't tell you how many attempts that took, but it was ridiculous. You could also do Nair to forward air. That is not one I like very much. I guess it could set up for kind of chaining your opponent off the map with a string of forward airs. You could do that potentially, but I feel like your opponent, if they have a good quick frame move, they can easily counter you, as I said before in the video. So what I like to do, instead of doing neutral air to fair, is I like to go for F tilt. Kind of something similar, same results, put them in the same scenario, similar in damage, it's just a little safer on your part. Plus it leaves you on the ground and not vulnerable in the air for something to happen to you. I believe Nair to up air also works, but I never really attempt it. Maybe at higher percents it works better. There you go. So that easy 19, a little bit more difficult to hit though. Pretty much if you can think it, you can do it with Nair. It's just an amazing move for R.O.B. As kind of like a treat for you guys, I do have another funny little combo you can do. Think of it kind of as just an extra tidbit. I wouldn't really count it as a combo, but just know you can combo with it. It's kind of funny. So you can actually combo gyro into your robo beam. I don't know if it works with a fully charged robo beam, but I do know with a non-fully charged one, it is true. So here's what it looks like. Oh, maybe it is true. Oh wow, cool. I was gonna try to do it one more time without the fully charged one. There you go. So if you know the gyro is gonna hit, or you know the gyro did hit, immediately follow up with a laser and you can just add on some extra damage. But anyway guys, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks again for Classic Nyan for commenting that he wanted to see it. If he comments in this video, I'll be more than happy to highlight it, so people that enjoyed this video or found it helpful can also like his comment or thank him or whatever you guys want to do to show your appreciation to him. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more.